For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Mr. Acting Police Commissioner, what is the latest regarding your investigation into the shooting of a customs officer? We want to find out. We definitely need and deserve an update. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. In a moment, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And Kim Annie will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. It is the day after, and therefore, what now? What is next? All the celebration which took place yesterday in several of the island's constituencies, coinciding with the second anniversary of the victory at the polls by the St. Lucia Labour Party. And after you have had too much to eat and drink, you have an upset stomach, sometimes you're afflicted with a bout of diarrhea and you just don't know what to do, and you ask yourself whether you should continue to do that, etc., etc., then reality sets in. I believe that is a ploy that is being used by this administration. Every moment it gets to celebrate Carnival in a big and significant way, so that many of you out there will forget that you have to face the reality of the high cost of living. You also have to face the reality of a serious crime problem in our country. You have to face the reality of a nation that is clearly divided, and divided by politicians who are benefiting from this division. So we had the anniversary celebrations, and people were dancing all over some of the constituencies and the streets, and merriment, and having some drinks and eats. What happens after that? What happens after that? You're left on your own. And you start to realize that we're on the verge of facing a 2.5% levy on certain items. And your salary has not increased in several years. As if you're lucky. If you're not so fortunate, you are unemployed. And you have to try your utmost to get a job. So, yes, we can celebrate. And we're looking forward to the next major event in St. Lucia, and that is Journée Creole. Received a call earlier this week and from Aaron Alexander. And for him, the next major event is Emancipation Day on August the 1st. But let's be realistic. People are not so much into celebrating events that have some kind of meaningful message behind them, that have some kind of context to them. Ask people, why they're celebrating Carnival. Not be able to explain. Why they're celebrating Journée Creole. For them, it's just another celebration. And so for most people, the next major activity here, social activity, is Journée Creole. And that will give the ruling politicians yet another opportunity to use that as some form of distraction. In the meantime, we have some serious issues to contend with, to remedy, to address, and that includes, as I said earlier on, the crime problem. By now, one would have anticipated that the police, considering the show of bravado, what we heard from the Prime Minister, what we heard as well from the acting police commissioner, that there would have been some kind of update regarding the investigation into that violent attack on a law enforcement official. But I imagine, like most other incidents, most other violent crimes in the country, they continue to be under investigation and do not expect periodic updates from the police. In the aftermath of that incident which occurred about 2 weeks ago, this is how the acting police commissioner, Mr. Ronald Phillip, reacted to this.
We are going to match this level of criminality with a response. I cannot speak to the operational details, but we are going to match this level of criminality and we are going to go on the offensive. We cannot make St. Lucia feel like there's any safe haven for those criminals, those cowards. I call them cowards, because that's what they do, drive by and then run away. But I'm telling you, we are going, as a police force, we are going to step up our game. We are going to match this level of criminality with a response. I cannot speak to the operational details, but we are going to match this level of criminality and we are going to go on the offensive. We cannot make St. Lucia feel like there's any safe haven for those criminals, those cowards. I call them cowards, because that's what they do, drive by and then run away. But I'm telling you, we are going, as a police force, we are going to step up our game.
Acting Police Commissioner Mr. Ronald Phillip, speaking in the aftermath of that violent attack on a customs officer. And by the way, he remains the acting police commissioner until Monday of next week. Now, before I got on the air, received word that the customs officer has been released from hospital. And that is good news. And that is all I can say on this development. But we want to hear from law enforcement. We want to hear from the police regarding the state of their investigation into this incident, because obviously this involved either one individual or many individuals, and we cannot allow this incident to go unaddressed, as we should be adopting the same approach whenever any other citizen also comes under gunfire, is shot, is injured, is killed, no matter what. But we need to ensure that we use certain events as an opportunity to show that we certainly will not tolerate certain things in our society. Use them as some kind of example and hope that the right message will be sent out to the criminal elements in our St. Lucian society. Because we know about the 7-day wonder. Something happens, 7 days would elapse, and then we forget about it totally. Hope we will not forget about this one and continue to revel on the various social events, those events that are meant to serve as some form of distraction. With regard to officers at the Body Lake Correctional Facility, I'm told that they have taken industrial action and they are into day 2 of this. They are agitating for health and security and safety at the Body Lake Correctional Facility. They stayed off the job yesterday and they are into day 2 of their protest action. Now, the island's Prime Minister, amidst the celebration yesterday, addressed that issue, and he said that those matters regarding the concerns expressed, the areas that the officers at the BCF would like to be addressed and rectified, he says that those are issues that can't be addressed overnight. And he says you must change the laws to deal with those areas of concern for officers at the BCF. So something tells me it will take quite some time now before that situation is remedied, before the officers at the BCF feel safe on the job, before matters relating to the health are seriously addressed, because according to the PM, it warrants changing the law. So you see, when it comes to certain things, it can take a while, it can be tedious. It certainly would warrant a lot of energy, a lot of effort on the part of the authorities. But if you want to amend the Constitution so that you can join the CCJ, not so difficult. If you want to amend the Constitution to facilitate an MP in ensuring that he becomes a government minister and part of your cabinet, and then a civilian can serve in the post of deputy speaker, then overnight you change the law. Let us hear from the Prime Minister reacting to the protest action taken by officers at the Bordelais Correctional Facility.
Bordelais is under the public service, and all promotions to Bordelais, they have to go through the public service, not like the police force, where promotions up to inspector are done by the executive, by the Commissioner of Police. So you find all promotions must go to the Public Service Commission, and that takes some time. I explained that's easy to them. In fact, I took the initiative in speaking to them, because Bordelais is not under my jurisdiction, it's under the Ministry of Home Affairs, but they were complaining of not getting the responses they want, so I decided to speak to them. So it's very unfortunate, and I'd be very sad if that happened, because they got the things that they wanted. They wanted radios, so the radios are being ordered. You see, what they want can happen instantly. We have to change the laws.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia and Minister with responsibility for national security, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. So while some people are celebrating the second anniversary of this administration yesterday, what was happening at the BCF? Some police officers, I'm told, had to be taken to that institution so that they could deputize on behalf of the BCF officers who took industrial action. Now, we already know that we clearly do not have a sufficient number of officers at the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to carry out the various functions that requires them to be out there in the field, required them to be to man various police stations. So they were under some level of pressure yesterday, and the same continues today. We hope that they will maintain law and order and ensure that the inmates at the BCF are kept behind bars. We take your calls right now at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Kimani, good afternoon to you. Any comments in the chat room?
Good afternoon, Tim. We do have some comments in the chat room. Someone says they went with such alacrity to head to the CCJ and to change the law regarding the Deputy Speaker. Now, the comment, Timothy, the Prime Minister has given the portfolio of national security to the RSS. Someone says, investigation upon investigation and nothing to show what happened to the police officer that got shot and died in the process. Someone says, celebrating unemployment, increased cost of living, empty promises, victimization, and corruption. We have another comment in the chat room. Someone says, radios, they walked off the job for radios. Say, blag zoka bye.
We have our first call on 9. Good afternoon, this is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hey, Brother Timmy.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
The yellow tiger.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you're a zookeeper, right?
A zookeeper?
But I don't know if you're a
Why would you
zookeeper.
go that way?
But don't label me red, yellow animal or anything of that nature.
no,
Okay? So no.
Just
Today is the last day. Today is the last day I will tolerate this. So let's move on.
So like I was telling you.
Let's focus on whatever you call the program for.
Yeah. So basically, I meant to call you a little earlier, but I wasn't getting through the past few days. You know, my good friend Ricky Wayne, he called and he said about how, you know, the government has to beg. We have to beg. And I remember telling you that two ways government make money is by either raising taxes or by going out there and begging for investments, for aid, direct loans, and so on. And Ricky Wayne called and said about how the same white people we talk about that we don't like the white people, the same ones you have to go and beg for money to develop our country.
But wasn't that the impression was given by the opposition, St. Lucia Labour Party?
No, but you see, I meant to correct Rick and said that those same white people owe us over $100 trillion, because don't forget, they made their wealth on Africa, our motherland. They made their wealth on exploiting our people, exploiting our people labor, you know. So these white people owe us trillions of dollars, you know.
So that's why sometimes we murder them, right? That's why sometimes we mug them.
Well, I'm not going to go in that far because I don't believe violence should be ever tolerated or ever encouraged. But the repatriations they owe us, they must pay. So we shouldn't be begging them. They should be willingly giving us all that money they exploited from us, all our resources in Mother Africa and all our slave labor they exploited from us. They owe us. We're not begging them, you know. They owe us.
Kolo, I think we're too hypocritical, you know, because we have a tendency when we engaging, especially government ministers, government officials engage people of a certain hue, Caucasians and so on. I mean, we treat them with the utmost of respect.
Well,
but
that's called diplomacy, you know.
At the local level, parochially, we insult them. We say all kind of things just because we want to get into office. We have to be more sophisticated than that. We preach all kind of hatred, and then when you have a situation where people in St. Lucia, the natives, local St. Lucians, are fighting among themselves, then we call for unity. We have to try and find out exactly what we want.
But you see, one last point quickly is that, so yesterday, the government celebrated 2 years in office, and between me and you may differ on that, I gave them a B+ for performance so far. I mean, they can't be perfect. You always find little holes in what they've done. And I've said openly that my only problem with this government is the inclusion of Mr. King and Mr. Frederick in the cabinet. I believe those guys could have been left out. It's true they both helped in the win, but there was no need to bring in Mr. Frederick and Mr. King into the cabinet.
I suspect Mr. Pierre is a man of his word. He had a deal with the gentleman before the general election. Okay. Come election night, he realized, boy, if he had his way, he would not have entertained any kind of arrangement with the two individuals. He didn't have a choice. He had already committed himself. Okay. So he had to go ahead with it.
Okay, good point. Yeah, I agree. And lastly, I think we need to put pressure on our Governor General to bring in Brother Ricky Wayne as an independent senator. I think he deserves to be in the government, in the House, as an independent senator.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. All the best.
I'm sure that if he calls today, he'll address that particular issue. But I don't know that Rick wants to be a part of any official setting, any government senator or independent senator at this point in time. Remember, he was once a government senator. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says, tell Wooden Dragon it's reparation and not repatriation. We have another comment. The SLP's answer to crime and bad health in St. Lucia is 2.5% levy. So for the next 2 years, expect a lot of people will die by bad health and murder. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Okay, that will do it. Do we have any comments in the chat room again, Kimani? 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026.
No more comments in the chat room.
So people are very quiet in the chat room today.
They're not really quiet. They're not a fan of the Yellow Tiger. But no comments of real substance in the chat room.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. But again, it is very important that we receive those updates from the police. I don't know what has happened to the Public Relations Department of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force over the last few years. I remember at one time they were very active, very proactive in terms of disseminating information to the press, not only via press release as is being done, but to facilitate and to host press conferences whereby questions can be posed to law enforcement personnel, because sometimes there are certain things that are included in a press release that warrant clarification and further explanation. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, good day.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Yes, last night I listened to your show with Spider-Man Tooth, and I heard him mention something about he made some statement on his show inciting violence, right? And what I heard what he said was all these people on the Facebook profile, they are just shout and be beaten. But when he said beat, it doesn't mean literally beaten. It would be
Caller, stop that. That's NewsSpin.
No.
Okay? No.
I know that's NewsSpin.
Listen,
No,
I heard you. Hold on, caller. Hold on, please. I heard you call another talk show. Or I think maybe I might have called some other talk show and put it on defense. Okay? I mean, it was a straightforward statement that he made. Okay?
Okay.
Nothing to say that he didn't mean it literally and metaphorically and whatnot.
I lured you. You know what happened to him? I lured you deliberately in that direction. Why?
You lured me? Why?
Peter
Caller, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will not waste any time on you today to say that you lured me. So you talk your nonsense, then you expect me to challenge you, and then you say you deliberately lured me. This is not a comical show. And I know that there's some other comical shows. There are some comical shows, that you can call and you could lure the host in a particular direction and get away with it. I don't have the time to waste on that particular tactic that you are employing. Okay? 452-2979, and please don't waste my time by calling the program again, because I'm not in the mood to entertain that kind of tactic, that kind of deceit and dishonesty that you're employing. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Kim. I'm calling to complain about two stuff. Well, not complain about, just a little concern that I have.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is that about the passport office. I know there's a mail, not a mail, but a post every time they send about issuing of passports on Sundays. But I need to find out about the days that persons can actually apply for their passports.
Yeah.
And persons who have no medical issues, because now with your passport, it's been used as a second form of ID.
Yeah.
So I need somebody from the immigration department who's listening, because I know they're listening, just to clarify such information for me, because I'm calling from the south, and I do not want to go to the passport office, and then it's a waste of time for me.
Okay.
And my second issue is of persons now, when you get employment, places are now employing you on contracts. And the government is doing it also. I want them to look into that, because for young persons like myself, if you have to build your home, buy a piece of land, or do something, the bank requires that you have a permanent job, not a contract job. So I need the Labor Commissioner or somebody to look into this thing so that at least that can be changed. Why are persons only getting contract jobs now, which positions that were permanent positions before? So I need the Labor Commissioner and the Ministry of whatever to look into that for me, please. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. And we hope that the respective authorities will address the two areas that you highlighted just a few moments ago. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Let's see if we have another call worthy of my time. Good afternoon.
Bon après-midi, Mr. Kim.
Oui, good afternoon to you, caller.
On vous est en médaille d'or. On vous est en médaille d'or. Pour manière où contrôler monsieur, moi content tellement. Et moi-même pas plus pour dire sur ça. Moi, really content manière où dire monsieur. Parce que c'est tout ça qu'à comprendre, c'est tout différents choses qui peuvent parler bêtises. Yo voulez pour un show ou servir pas plus chaud. Alors, on vous est en médaille d'or.
All right, merci beaucoup. So the guy calls and said, man, let's try something. I just said that deliberately. I don't take those chances, caller. I really don't take those chances. This is a serious program. You call, you make a serious point of view, you express your point of view, you make a suggestion, and then we go on. Do not start on a dishonest footing, because I certainly will not tolerate that. All right, somebody says that, Tim, very green recruits are the ones running the prison now. They too are very disappointed with the conditions down there, and there are many concerns, okay? This is coming from an individual. We hope it is not true, and we hope that very soon that the situation at the BCF with the staff there will be addressed, because those I would like to believe are specialists who are manning our Bordelais Correctional Facility. You do not just take a police recruit, a police officer, and just give them that assignment. Those are two different areas that they will have to attend to. So we hope that the authorities will attend to that particular matter at the BCF as soon as possible. You're talking about the nation's security, and the Prime Minister, National Security Minister, should not take this lightly. Do you have any comments, Kimani?
Someone says, Tim, you changed your DNA too. You sound like a roasted breadfruit. Tim, what's that?
I don't know what's that.
Another person commented saying, Josie was out of line, so Tim, you should see so as well, but alert. Another comment, someone says, my lady, you lucky you have one. Just work hard so your contract can be renewed. Another comment, someone says, let's see, my lady, contract jobs is the way of the world now. Another comment, Tim, what is happening with the passport investigation promised by Virginia Albert? That's it.
All right, thank you so much. Still to come, we have some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages as we continue to discuss the issues in the news and matters of concern to you. They fail to accept they have lost power. All that and more on NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page.
Treat yourself to KFC's new Genius menu. Get your choice of one-piece chicken, corn, and biscuit, or one-piece chicken, fries, and biscuit, or one-piece chicken, mac and cheese, and biscuit for just $11.50. Order now through WhatsApp at 484-0400
or visit our website kfcslu.com
or dine in at any one of our locations. Now that's a genius choice with unbeatable value. KFC, finger licking good.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilec aveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone sa la. Mi an ti commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire. Durant mauvais temps, si l'année en chaise éclair ek l'ouaille, déplogue toute appliance et puis équipement qui a servi courant électrique. Zéclair ça hausse quantité courant à sous système courant Lucilec. Appliance et équipement qui en service ek dommagé. Fait assis ou ni flashlight, radio qui a servi batterie et l'autre batterie qui fouet à sous réserve pour si en cas la pe panique courant. Ça c'était en commission Rod Lucilec.
And you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Automotive art is now bigger and better with bargains galore. Automotive art has expanded. With new exciting products and increased shopping comfort, we welcome you to visit. Celebrate with us and take advantage of our specials. New tires starting at $129, 25% off all tools and accessories, up to 75% off rims, BOGO specials, car care bundles, and other bargains galore. Automotive art, bigger and better.
WhatsApp message, Tim, it's been a week now. The air condition unit at the office of the Prime Minister is not working and nothing is being done about it. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, what is the government doing about the farmers' crop that was destroyed by the tropical storm? Not a word. All right, let's see if you have a call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Okay, we had a call coming in, but we lost it. Somebody has changed his or her mind. Okay, we have another call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Sakabet.
Mola?
Let me tell you, I see, I don't know how to put it though. Marijuana is still illegal in my island, St. Lucia. My reason for saying that because you go don't need travel with
what 40 grams they say?
Yeah.
All right, 40 grams. Marijuana is marijuana. Big quantity, small quantity is the same marijuana. So which means marijuana, because now anybody can smoke a joint, bold-faced, and I see in little places growing the marijuana crop. Okay, and yet still, if they found you with a big quantity, you can arrest. So that making no sense, Tim, to me. That making sense. Small joint, half pound, quarter pound, caucus bag, it is the same marijuana. So don't tell me they legalize marijuana. Tobacco legalized, yes. You understand? Thanks God, I do not smoke. I had enough, and I had enough, and I had enough. Now, Lord Cote, you heard what happened in Singapore with that woman, 45 years of age. She was arrested in 2018, and she was executed this morning in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 weeks ago, she followed, I think somebody else was executed. So you see how Singapore is a no-nonsense society country comparing to us in the Caribbean. And Tim, you're doing a very good job. And Vernon, on Saturday, if I meet you the same place, bye-bye.
All right, sir. Take care, and thank you so much for your contribution. 452-2979. I think we have a WhatsApp call. Let me turn my attention to that contributor. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
They're holding on. Tim, the caller just called about the marijuana, and marijuana is legal in St. Lucia. Tim, do you know that over the jazz, police were taking people's weed, a joint, a little portion of weed, and the police were saying that they don't know anything about that has not been passed.
Yeah, but
as far as they're concerned.
I think what happened is people are using marijuana in public. You're not supposed to be smoking in public. Not only marijuana, you're not supposed to be smoking, period, in public. There's certain designated areas for smoking.
Tim, I'm talking about the jazz events. They were searching people. Mm-hmm. And they found like somebody had a little nylon bag with some weed or 2 joints rolled. The police were taking it. They were the RSA.
Okay, we just have a little interference there. We'll try to rectify it so that the caller can continue her contribution. Well, that's an issue I think the police need to address, because this has been spoken about on several occasions by legislators in the country, that you're entitled to have a certain quantity of marijuana in your possession for personal use, and that is 30 grams. But you ought not to be smoking in public. Now, if you have that up to that amount on your person, I do not think, according to the legislation, I do not think that is illegal. Let's see if we get another caller line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim, and good afternoon to all those that are listening to the program.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I live, you know the voice there.
Caller, I could hardly hear you.
Oh, my goodness.
You need to speak up a bit.
I live in a constituency where Mrs. Virginia Albert Poyot represents.
That's Babuno.
Yes, I live at Timor Union. Tim, I want to ask Mrs. Poyot, what can she say she have done in the area of T1 where I live? Tim, the people are cleaning everywhere else around Babuno. But when they have to clean at Timon, the drain, cut the grass, I am the one that have to come on radio and make noise for them to come up there to do that. People have been dropping a lot of garbage. They present all kind of nonsense by the court Altimon as though it is a dumping site. I would like Miss Virginia Albert Poyot to put a sign and start taking care of the constituency, because you fooled a lot of the young people at Timon, telling them that you're going to do better for them. And people have not been seeing your face up there. Mrs. Poyot, you eating the government money by fooling the young people of Timon and Balata. These are people that are very close to Dr. Sukep. We are still talking, but you all promised them 1,005. You all promised them better life. And you're telling me that last night you all was celebrating, right? 2 years of doing mischief to people in this country.
How can people celebrate wickedness in? You understand? And secondly, I want to ask her, how far has she reached on the investigation about the passport racket? And how far has she investigated about the allegations about the police sexual harassment? I would like to know, because every time she's investigating. Now, if she's not getting anywhere in the investigation, she has to do the investigation. Go out and investigate, because you cannot get in. Investigate. That is all I have to say this afternoon.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Listen, now attention to a WhatsApp caller. If we can, I think early on she was attempting to make a contribution. Let's go back to her. Good afternoon. Okay, we're trying again to see if we could put the call on the air, so just bear with us, caller, because we're really looking forward to hearing what you have to say with regard to your contribution. Hello? Okay, we'll try another line. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you on the air?
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
How are you?
I am okay. How about you?
I'm there holding.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember the Minister of Agriculture said some money was missing in his department or something, so?
I can't remember too clearly the minister making that point.
And
No.
he was giving them time to bring it back or something, so. But up to now, I ain't nothing.
You say Minister Prosper?
Yeah. Up
Okay.
to now, you haven't come and say whether that money has been refunded or what.
Okay. All right.
I hope he hear me and he come out and say something.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Right.
All right. Let's see if we get the WhatsApp call on the air. If
Hello?
we can. Yes. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, Tim. You hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. I could hear you. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Yes, I was saying there was one St. Lucian police, because you can hear the accents, and he was the one who said that they don't know anything about that, and as though, they haven't been given orders and all kinds of things like that. Okay, that passed. I want to talk about the double standards of the St. Lucia Labour Party. Mr. Josie made a statement yesterday. They all up in arms, making memes and saying all kinds of things. They never condemned. Are you hearing me, Tim?
Loud and clear, ma'am.
Okay. They never condemned when a supporter of theirs wanted to put bombs under the seat of Guy and Shasney in the house. They have people on talk shows preaching all kind of violence. They have ministers preaching violence. You hear me? All kinds of things. Our prime minister telling his supporters, when they see UWP supporters, go in their face and tell them, we all lose, we win. All that is violence. So you all can preach all the violence, but a little statement Mr. Josie made, you all up in arms against it. You understand? So what does that say? When you all are the ones who preach the most, if you go back in history, look at when the Plywood City, who's a more violent party than the Labour Party? And before us UWP supporters make a little statement, they want to blow it up and say he's preaching violence. I won't say that what Mr. Josie said was right, but don't come and play no double standards when you're all doing worse. Just when it was, Tim, I don't know if you said it last week or not last week, a couple of weeks ago. They were on the end saying, oh, and who they're going to do this and who they're going to do that. And when you all get what, you know what I'm talking about. A talk show host was going crazy, and a minister came on his show a couple nights after and was condoning what he said. So if you all want to come and talk about Mr. Josie's, what Mr. Josie said, you all have to, the people you all have preaching all the violence in your party, you all have to condone it too. And I heard another thing again, Lisa Jawawa. I heard she was talking some nonsense about how we borrow how much UWP borrow, how much billion and all kind of things. The money UWP borrowed was in 5 years. It ain't have 2 years yet. They borrow, I think, even more than what UWP borrowed in 5 years. So I don't know why Miss Jiwawa does come and just say what she wants. I guess, well, not why, because she getting her big fat salary to talk the nonsense. She just come and talk. You understand? I feel sorry for these people that just because they're getting paid, they want to run the country down the drain. I mean, you have to put your country before party. I'm a supporter of United Workers' Party. Everybody.
Okay, we seem to be getting some interference on that line. Okay.
The
Yes,
Labour
caller.
Party. You hearing me, Tim?
Yes, caller, continue.
The Labour Party, they seeing the blood in their eyes and they're in denial. What they were celebrating yesterday, Tim, what was there to celebrate yesterday? Rum and fooling the people with rum and chicken and party and music. That's all Labour Party has been doing from the time they win. Every opportunity they can have a celebration to fool us. It's like, I want your producer to play that song for me, Tim. That's the second time I'm asking you. Forget your troubles and dance, because that's what the Labour Party keep telling us. Forget our troubles and dance. St. Lucia is in a mess, and they're in denial. They think they're doing so well. We have never been the way we are. Look at how much money we're paying for gas up to now. Look at a little gas tank, how much food expensive. The government not doing nothing to subsidize a loaf of bread. Look at the price of a loaf of bread, Tim. I feel sorry for the people who have how many children to send to school. You understand? When you tell me you're taking out the subsidies on flour, and you all know all Malawi, you all say you're a government for Malawi. That is not a government for Malawi. Because a government for Malawi will put the Malawi first. And putting people first, that's not putting people, that's making people worse. You hear me? But you know what? Like I always say, St. Lucians get what they deserve, team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. As we turn our attention to the chat room, what is happening there, Kimani, that is worth reporting?
Someone says a forensic audit needs to be done on those activities. Carnival bans boasted persons in the thousands, and I did not see those numbers. If I'm correct, the question should be why the exaggeration? Then again, why the insertion of so much into activities that yields very little in return? Then we see the same players with the same names recycled. Someone commented, add that 18.1% growth to that list of exaggerated figures. Another comment, that's the issue I have with these smokers. They feel they have the right to smoke in your face, no respect for other people. Someone says the statement made by Josie merits condemnation just as much as the one made by the speaker. The debate on which statement is worse is irrelevant. The hypocrisy, SMH. Someone said earlier, caller Kenny Anthony was the one who brought in that contract. And these men don't want the average men and women to earn nothing in the country. Let's see if I can find any more comments in the chat room.
Okay, while you're searching, let me go through a WhatsApp message. It is so sad that nurse graduates from Cuba had to go back to school and sit exams when a competent education board did their due diligence in Cuba for them to graduate with BSc in nursing. Yet we allow Cuban native nurses to work in St. Lucia. Is the Cuban education board only good for the education of their local nurses? Why other grads from Cuba, where vets, doctors, dentists, agronomists, and others are not subjected to the treatment and lack of respect these past students experience? Is it that the Nursing Association is greater than the competent Educational Board of Cuba? Yet we complain we need proper health care. Who is looking into these situations? If we can't get justice for the unfair treatment of these nurses, what will we resolve in St. Lucia? This victimization of the Nurses Association will continue and unemployment will increase. Another person says there, oh my, for my people. The caller refers to Mr. Josie's remarks as a little statement Mr. Josie made. We must not be so politically defensive. That makes me sad. And let's see if we have some more. Hi, Tim. Mr. Josie's statement is reckless and the United Workers' Party needs to distance itself from such statements. Do we have any more of your comments? Okay, another one says, I think that the government is investigating into the priorities that are not immediate. Investments need to be made in cameras, more manpower, increased salary, and overtime pay for BCF staff. The police force need more manpower and equipment. At this moment, that crime is increasing. We don't need another football field. We do not need a new center that's going to go vacant in a couple of years. St. Lucia needs to pay the police, correctional officers, boys training center, staff a better salary. We have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Oui, Mr. Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Oui, maintenant, madame, te dit que ministre Prosper, dit que te de la ministry. L'argent te paid consulat à Denver South.
Okay, okay.
Il te da yo semaine pour yo te dit qui ça qui fait. Mais il a sous 2 semaines moi même pour retourner.
Okay, so consulat là ça te paid.
Okay.
All right. Merci beaucoup.
Pas de problème.
All right. Let's see if we have any more of your WhatsApp messages and also your calls. I think we have a call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I want to let St. Lucia know that state.
Okay, we keep having interferences on that line. My apologies to you. Let's see if we can get another call. 452-2979. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We'll try to see how we can deal with that particular technical issue. Let's see if we have any more. Do we have any comments in the chat room, Kimani, that we can go through?
Someone says, pronounce the lady's name properly. Wow. So it's Lisa Jawa here. Tim, you need to find the callers when they mispronounce it on purpose.
I don't think... You think they're doing it on purpose?
Yes, I think so.
No, I don't think so.
We all know so.
I think it's a difficult name to pronounce.
Is it?
Not everyone can say Lisa Jawa here. Okay? Not everyone can say it.
But that's it in the chat room, Tim.
I mean, I that will be unfair. I'll be pretending to know that the people are doing it deliberately. And I don't think that NewsSpinners are that mischievous. Okay, I really don't think so.
Ignorance is bliss, so they say.
I will put my the bandy one, my bandy legs in fire for the NewsSpinners. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kimani.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Ça c'est just opinion moi de madame la qui prononce ça en Goukoyi. Vous comprenez?
Well, ma have.
Okay, just opinion moi-même.
Okay.
Because any monde qui pas autant savant, moi ça excusez yo mais madame ça la savant c'est pour connaître non madame là. OK, on quitte ça là. Ça m'a pas ça comprendre Tim. Ces affaires des form of ID ou ka briser, vous comprenez? De les gouvernement ben mon ka mettre en place là, ils connaissent plus passer moi, vous comprenez? Moi juste ka dit ça moi pas comprendre. Est-ce que vous comprenez ça là là? So aller à dans banque là, et qu'on yon ATM card ou fouiller dans machine pour withdraw l'argent, man do besoin de vous comprenez?
Oui.
Ou besoin yon, est-ce que fait propre bagay là si on yon anti-secret number, ça ou ka faire moi pas.
Ou pas besoin ID card, ou just besoin ATM card.
OK, but ça ou pas besoin, moi ça ou pas besoin, c'est carte là tout seul n'a parler about.
Right.
Mais ça n'a dit carte là, yo prend temps yo et yo fait ça yo fait pour sortir travail effectivement. Est-ce que vous comprenez ça veut dire là?
Oui.
Ou comprenez faut pas besoin de. So si on ID card ni tout ça passeport ni et ben on driver's license ni ou comprenez ça n'a dit ma ouais l'illement pour ni de. Si c'est pour ni de, which means something wrong somewhere. Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Oui.
En opinion moi, vous comprenez? So on suppose ni temps et fait tout bagay because pas dit moi en temps ma yo gouiller ça. Avec ma vle travel, m'oblige à garder pour passeport pour moi yon l'autre forme of ID. Vous comprenez? Si moi ha don l'âge ma ça drive peut-être moi même bien ouais clair en bagay c'est pour driver's license yo ka ba moi hein?
C'est ça besoin c'est just ID card.
C'est ID card
oui.
Et là ni certain côté pas ka ça fait business avec ID card là seulement. Vous comprenez?
Oui.
So ça moi même ka ouais avec système ça gouvernement ka mettre ma ka blâmer ni jaune ni rouge ni ka ko mais ça n'a dit yo supposé garder un système sans aucun excès doué avec yon seul bagay là ça trouver quoi effectif pour faire ça on est pour faire même comme moi just draw a reference en le ATM card là vous comprenez il y a travail est-ce que vous comprenez ou pas pour des trois cards so whatsoever moun qui en charge avec ces bagay ça là ma ça aussi on expliquer ça ba moi avec les autres moun qui veulent connaître plus mais pas ça Tim nous bonne tune nous ka bien parler encore.
Okay, merci beaucoup. Let's see if we can try again to get this WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon.
Okay, we had some technical challenges early on. Let's see if we can work with what we have right now. Go ahead, please.
Okay, that's okay. Tim, I was saying that statement that Peter Josie made yesterday, and the Labour Party is all over it, running with it, making people believe that what the man said is violence, he's pushing and everything like that. But I need the Labour Party to stop it. They need to stop their nonsense, the dirty PR you see they're doing there to try and further confuse the minds of the poor people that they are now oppressing with inflation to hold on to power. I will tell them that it will not work. It will not work because they were supposed to step in when the Speaker of the House came on television, said that he's using a bazooka to take down dwarfs and giants. Wasn't that a form of promoting violence? Wasn't when this guy on NBC opened his mouth and he said anonymous and killing, he don't care, they coward and all these kind of vibes that they were pushing. Isn't that a form of violence? Isn't that a form of violence? I need to tell the PR of the St. Lucia Labour Party, the government of St. Lucia, their face is the one representing St. Lucia and not the face of the opposition. They need to get their act together and stop playing politics and run the affairs of the country and stop trying to make the poor man believe that they are doing something good. Because we have a broken country there right now. They're trying to run away from the policies that is not running the country properly. The police force is in a mess. Borderland is in a mess. Inflation on our back. That is the policies we want to discuss. These are the things we want to discuss. What are y'all doing to fix the country? Because we are not in a good place. The passport scandal that caused the CIP and the UK to put sanctions in the Caribbean. These are the things we want to talk about. These are the things that we want to talk about. Why is it we in 2 years now the Millennium Highway cannot be fixed? Why is it 2 years past? Rodney Bay, the roads are in a mess. What are you all bringing to the poor people? Why is it you all cannot cushion the inflation Philip Pierre have on our backs? And why is it in a time like that, after things are so hard, that the Prime Minister is held on opposing that 2.5 VAT that Mr. Shastner deducted when Kenny oppressed us with it? Why is it Philip Pierre is willing to take the spending power of St. Lucia and the poor people all over again when he haven't implemented no kind of jobs for the people? These are the things we want to know. Why is it right now the school books and the school uniforms are so expensive? Why is it that the bread and the bus fares are so high? Why is it Philip Pierre cannot bring down on the gas prices when a barrel is $70 or $71 US dollars a barrel? Why is it? Why is it Philip Pierre is not doing anything to help the poor people in this country? Why is it Philip Pierre couldn't allow the St. George Hospital to finish and to bring in the Cayman doctors that Alan Shastner had the idea to help the people of St. Lucia to give them better medical care? Why is it we're not focusing on what Peter Josie said? Stay focused, St. Lucia. Stay focused. They're just trying to play politics with you. Stay focused. Your purse, you're feeling it in your purse. Have a blessed day, team.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's take another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Tim, good day.
Yes, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Tim.
So while I haven't heard from you?
A few little homework, Tim. I say you not taking my calls, man.
No, that's not the case.
Matters of homework for you, Tim. Although you poorly delivering on homework, you know.
I don't like homework, you know. Only one set of homework I like, not yours.
I know.
But what's in your mind?
Tim, your call of the day yesterday. It's your show, but you know what? freaked me out, what made me laugh, was the fisherman, you know.
Yes.
Remember you had I laugh so much, man. Your show sometimes can be real comedy. The fisherman and the minibus driver who called after your call of the day. But anyway, that was a decision you made. Next point, Tim. I heard the Prime Minister speak on the issue pertaining to Bodiley. Did anybody ask why was Bodiley promotions under the Bodiley managed by the Public Service Commission?
Well, I wasn't at the press conference, so I don't know if anybody asked that question.
Nobody asked. I can almost bet on that. Bodiley just came, you know, how many years? Less than 20 years ago.
Yeah, about that.
Yes. So why is the police force managed by a commissioner and the prison not a superintendent? That's how it used to be. HMP, and the old HMP on Bridge Street had a superintendent. You know why that was so? To take care of internal disciplinary matters. Why was Bodiley commissioned after that?
So Bodiley is exactly 20 years.
20, right?
Yeah. It was built in 2003.
Right. So why is Bodiley and Mr. Herman, help me with his name, the former director?
Mr. Hilary Herman.
Yes. He spoke many times on your show, Tim, and he tell you what the problem is at Bodiley, you know. They can fire or discipline any officers. How many officers have found themselves in trouble with the law at Bodiley and are back on the job, Tim?
Yeah.
You know why that is happening? That's the same law that the Prime Minister said that need to be changed. But who did it so? Who made it so? Why is the Bodiley run that way? That's a question the journalists, but you see there are no journalists, so they won't ask that question. The journalists can hardly put a question together from a press conference. Can you believe that? And I see them, I know most of them, and I'm not surprised. But we're moving on, Tim. More homework for you. Public smoking is an offense, but you're not going to wear that. So a man decides he has 40 grams of marijuana, which is the acceptable amount he can carry on him and not be criminal prosecuted for it. But the issue is public smoking is an offense. But nobody's discussing that, Tim.
Well, I did make the point. I made the point early on.
Be made public, and the Babylon's public smoking not be made public. Not public, but not be discussed equally. Why do you think so?
I think this was discussed, you know.
Tim,
but
that
people
was not discussed.
No,
I've been on that
this was discussed.
Day one. I've been on it, Tim.
Yeah, but smoking, no, whether it's marijuana or those cigarettes and so on, normally it's just illegal not to smoke in public.
No.
It has nothing to do with marijuana alone.
No.
Tobacco products, etc. You cannot smoke that in public.
No, Tim. Prior to 20, I'll tell you, I don't remember the exact year, but prior to 20, I believe it has to be between 2018 and 2020, public smoking became an offense. I will check the date for you. That's my own homework. But before that, you could have smoked a cigarette anyway. Take it from me, Tim. I'm telling you that. I've been on that. Nobody does discuss that. Fourth issue. Millennium Highway. What is really happening with Millennium Highway, Tim?
You'll have to ask the contractors.
Contractors?
Or Minister Stephenson King.
Is Mr. King the same Minister of Infrastructure?
But you know the answer to that.
No, homework, Tim. Homework.
But you know the answer.
Tim, that bus driver who called, that's why I tell you, he was my caller of the day. Either he or the fisherman. Who said, Monsieur, you didn't have the fisherman comment.
I heard him.
The man cried. Monsieur, put $10,000 worth of gas in your boat, team. You ain't guaranteed to catch a fish, you know. Compare that to a minibus operator. And I heard Mr. Godfrey Ferdinand, my friend, you're bound to get a passenger on the road, especially when it's raining, Tim, to make $1 on your bus. But you can't catch a fish. So why is the bus driver getting rebates and the fisherman not getting? The fisherman uses almost more gas. Not almost. The fisherman uses more gas in a day than a bus traveling on our roads. You would agree or not?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But one is guaranteed to get a passenger and one is not guaranteed to catch a fish. So how can that be equal? But Millennium Highway, Tim, I been passing there. I drove there about 3 weeks ago, Tim.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Man, let me tell you something. The person responsible for that should be brought to the square, you know. Not for anything. To use somebody who is...
Because somebody will tell you that you're preaching violence. Not for anything.
Oh, yes.
Just
not
take...
for anything. Just for public viewing. Just bring him there for public viewing. That person that's responsible for Millennium Highway. You tell me the men came here. They procrastinated. They had recreation. They built a bridge. Left it, handed over and left. They built about 10 bridges already, wherever they gone. And we cannot join a road to the bridge. In almost how many months? 6 months? I tell you, the person responsible for that road should be brought to the what's the square name?
Derek Walcott.
On a school day, 2:45 for public viewing, Tim. Thank you very much, Tim. I have more for you, but
just to embarrass him or her. Okay.
No, not for embarrassment, just for public viewing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're on the air. This is NewsSpin.
Hey, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm okay. How about you?
I'm quite all right.
What's in your mind?
So there is, yeah, no, not yet. So my question is, not my question, my observation. When the guy made that presentation yesterday, Timothy, I was so impressed because I always believe that's the kind of politics you should do. That's the kind of information you could come with. Because saying 12% or 15% or 2.5%, the average person cannot comprehend that. We don't have time to do that. But then when guy came and he did the calculation with a sheet of plywood, it was like, wow, you understand what I'm saying? Because you actually comprehending the numbers for a sheet of politician's name, and I cannot put a face to the name because I only listen, I never actually seen. But anyway, that's just a random statement. Then what he spoke about with the price of bread increasing and everything increasing, and then we saying that the economy grew by whatever. Timothy, if you go on the road and if you out with one of your friends and they're talking about, I have $50,000 saved in the bank, and then you know for a fact the children hungry, they don't have current at their home, would you be impressed by the fact that you have $50,000 in the bank?
No.
So exactly, because you should not have $50,000 in the bank and your family suffering. If you have $0 and your family not suffering like that, then that's impressive. Your family is not suffering, your family is taken care of. So that's why I find that GDP calculation whatnot was like false, because to say that we grow but then the price of bread increased, the price of everything increased. And in the economy, they say that is one of the faults of GDP. It doesn't calculate things like...
But in this particular case, I think what happened, the economy was at a standstill, remember? All right, during COVID, we closed our borders. There was little economic activity taking place in the country. So as soon as you open your borders, visitors come in, people start to spend, etc., the economy will obviously grow by a significant amount.
Okay,
So
so
will
that
they?
is one aspect of it. But what I'm saying is because the price of everything was so exuberant and tax
Inflation.
and everything is a percentage,
Yeah.
then the government would, by definition, make more money. So just beyond because it grew, because it was still because the price of everything raised. That's another aspect that increase the cost of living.
Yeah.
So by just saying the economy grew and by so much, and then you raise the price of bread and whatnot, to me it would have been better if the economy based on, because like I tell you, GDP don't measure things like tax reduction, tax breaks, and them kind of thing. Because if you were to continue the subsidy on the food and stuff, then it would not register subsidies on sugar and all that. If that continued, that would not register as GDP. It would actually decrease GDP. It would be seen as a decrease in GDP. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could have reduced all that. You could have spent more on assisting the people, and then GDP wouldn't be that high. But to see people are suffering and then to brag about GDP, then it's dumb because you're not using the money right. You're withholding the money in the bank while your people suffering.
That's the way of putting
You understand what I'm
yes.
saying? Yeah, so you do come and say, oh, I have $50,000 in the bank and my children suffering. I was supposed to spend the money, and when everybody living in a livable condition, then you could say, okay, you grow that amount, but then that is the flaw of measuring economy with GDP. It doesn't measure helping out your citizens. Furthermore, after I heard Guy do that wonderful presentation, like it had it maple in it, but the like he gave a breakdown. I was so impressed. Then I heard Mr. Peter Josie, and then I was like, oh shit, man. Because I know instantaneously everything will move on what stuff like Guy said and go straight on Mr. Peter Josie. So just beyond what he said was wrong as far as I'm concerned, because one is wrong, the other is wrong. Don't tell me one wrong and the other one right. Or one is less of a statement than the other statement. When I heard that, I was like, oh shit, that 30 seconds he talked, they should just never allowed it. And then he come and he said that, and then I'm like, yes, so they will run with that instead of every other thing every other person say. And like, so then following day, hearing everybody talking about what Mr. Peter Josie said, I was like, yeah, I expect that. As far as I'm concerned, the moment he said, the next person that go up and said should have say, no, we don't agree, you shouldn't say that. That's as far as I'm concerned, what should have happened. But the way it go down there, it shouldn't have gone down. He should have never said what he said because one is wrong, the other one is wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because once you're in a position, once you say things and something else can be implied, that simply means you shouldn't have said it. No matter what you meant, once another thing can be implied as a politician, because he's not me on the streets that just talking. Nobody has to listen. Nobody, you understand what I'm saying? He's a man in position. He shouldn't have said that. Once it can be implied, don't say it. So that's basically what I have to say. Guy did an excellent thing, showing that the price of material more than double. Plus, when he said when you take out 12%, you still have 2 sheets of plywood and $20-something to pay the person to bring the plywood at your home. You don't see that is amazing how expensive things get.
Yeah.
So with 12%, it's still over 200% more. You understand what I'm saying? So that's amazing. So what Mr. Peter Josie said is utter nonsense. He shouldn't have said it, no matter what he might have meant. He just shouldn't have said it because I can imply other things. But apart from that, everything, Guy was excellent. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. This gentleman is calling from the diaspora. Some quick comments in the chat room.
We have the chat roomers singing the previous caller's praises. But I will say though, Tim, I agree with what he said. I listened to the guy's presentation and I did understand it on the way that he explained it. But I think when he said that politicians should speak that way, doesn't it to some extent speak to the intelligence of the populace?
Not really, because there are many people in the St. Lucian society who do not understand such those things because they appear to be very complicated.
Of course, agreed.
So you need to walk them through it and explain to them. And even in journalism, they tell you, Don't say that something happened at 15%, etc. You know, work it out for the people so that they understand exactly what you're talking about.
And I think the rule of thumb is that
and that's education. That's what education is all about. And that's not really education, but communication. You need to communicate in a way that people will understand. Don't assume that people are so sophisticated that they know where you're coming from.
And I think the rule of thumb in journalism is that you don't use language above a certain grade or level. All right. But I think we have some praises for the previous caller. This young man should throw his hat in the political ring. Youths like him is what the country needs in position of influence. Another comment, caller, I'm impressed with your contribution. Very open-minded young man. Keep listening to the facts. Someone says, open-air concerts, the police must use common sense and look the other way. Another comment, the number of issues from the current administration had me thinking that they were already in for 3 years. It's amazing how much decline has occurred in such a short space of time. 3 more years? Wow. Can one submit a graph illustrating the positives with negatives, as I am certainly unable at this time? Someone says, Tim, can you play the clip where PJP is saying he is waiting for someone to tell him what to do about the allegations against the top cop? That is it in the chat room.
Thank you so much. The broadcast will continue in just a moment. Please stay with us. You're watching NewsSpin on YouTube, on our NewsSpin Facebook page, and listening on Power 97.9 FM.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Glow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tunes. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Contact Lucelec before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Lucelec, the power of care.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Treat yourself to KFC's new Genius menu. Get your choice of one-piece chicken, corn, and biscuit, or one-piece chicken, fries, and biscuit, or one-piece chicken, mac and cheese, and biscuit for just $11.50. Order now through WhatsApp at 484-0400
or visit our website kfcslu.com
or dine in at any one of our locations. Now that's a genius choice with unbeatable value. KFC, finger licking good.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bomb glow, hein. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tank, moi ni glow, me money pressure.
Ou sav sa mwen bezwen? A pom. Sa se bêtise. Mwen ka ale ko Europa. Yo ni tout pom pour tout kondisyon. Ki pou kay, ki pou business. Yo ni pli mer pou y pom paset lisi. Yo ka ronge pom osi ki bezwen servis. Pran pom yo se Leo. Pom sa se major. I bon tout bonman. Tan si ten mwen a cholman. Gloka fonte. Visite Europa ambassade Gozile. Numéro téléphone 452 0763.
Continue with the broadcast. I have a guest in studio. You never know what will happen on NewsSpin. He is David Shakes Christopher, the president of the St. Lucia Boxing Association. Good afternoon to you, sir, and welcome to NewsSpin. During this segment, we'll be focusing on an upcoming tournament. What is that tournament all about, sir?
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure being here. Blessings to this new studio, first time in.
Welcome,
Power
sir.
97, wish you the best moving forward. Anywhere you go, things always is the best.
Yeah.
Yes, the tournament is all about OECS boxing tournament. It's a revival. The last time this tournament was held is 2017, right here in St. Lucia, when we won it. And after that, everything went downhill. You know,
Why?
COVID came on. COVID came on.
But COVID was
19,
what? Yeah.
19, the island that's supposed to host it in 2018 couldn't.
2019.
Yeah, and then everything just went down. So we revived it this year. Couple months ago, we had the Champion of Champions, saw the return of boxing. And then calls keep coming in that St. Lucia to host the OECS. So we decided to host it. We have 6 countries will be taking part.
So that boxing tournament starts when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Friday.
Friday.
What time?
6:30.
And where? 6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. at the VG
Sports Complex.
Arena.
At the
Sports
arena. Okay.
Arena. We changed the name to the arena because
Okay.
it's punches in bunches, you know.
Okay.
You don't play boxing, so you fight.
Okay, fighting
Yeah,
in the arena, right?
yeah.
Okay, so that's tomorrow, Friday, and it goes up until
Saturday.
On
Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Do you how many teams are participating?
We have 5 countries and St. Lucia makes 6. We have Antigua, Barbados, Martinique, Grenada, Guyana, and St. Lucia.
Okay. How many of our boxers will be? How many boxers will be representing us in that tournament?
We have over 25 boxers will be
25 boxers,
young boxers
okay.
from the View Fort.
In different categories?
Different categories, youth, juniors, and seniors. And
Okay.
elite, yeah.
Now, what kind of vibes you getting in terms of the reaction that the tournament is coming to St. Lucia?
Well, there's the buzz in the region. That's why we open it up as a revival invitational, because if you see Guyana in there, and also we have Barbados, which is not a OECS territory, but then we invite them as a boxing family. Boxing going through a lot of problems right now internationally with our leading body, IEBA, just being suspended from international IOC. So we going through our own political vibes. So we in the regions trying to hold boxing together, especially St. Lucia and Guyana, the only 2 countries really promoting the boxing in the region, in the Caribbean region. Trying to keep the boxers out of trouble and keep them in the ring. So the vibes is real rich. The vibes is hot. The boxers is budding. We have over 80 boxers in our program right now. In the View Fort area is one of the most buzzing area, from View Fort right down to Soufrière. They're going to be the really cream carrying the flag for St. Lucia, the View Fort boxers with a Cuban coach. It's very nice. Young boxers, 16, 17. We'll see a lot of youth on show from 15 right down to 18. So we're going to see the youths doing something positive instead of being in the negative fray, to say, you know. So we want persons to really come out and support these young boxers and encourage them, because you never know, this could be the next champion coming out, could be the next Alfred, you never know.
How much you talking about in terms of admission?
Only, it's not admission, it's a contribution, $15 for $15 for adults and $5 for kids, because we want the kids to come in and really.
So
grab
people
it.
must purchase tickets before, or they could just pay?
They can purchase before, but they can pay at the gate. They can pay at the gate. We're trying to create a nice little ambience around the ring. So persons who want to come right up close and personal could come around the ring and feel the vibes. Good lighting.
Any ring girls coming in and
definitely. That's what you like, the ring girls. We have the Blue Waters ring girls, Stamina ring girls, so they will be on show. And this will really move the cataract out of your eyes, the ring girls, when you can.
That serves as a great incentive.
Great incentive.
Okay. But what has happened? I mean, you spoke generally about what has happened to boxing, and the last time you had a tournament was, as you said, I think 2017.
Yeah.
So what has happened between that time and now in terms of ensuring that you keep our boxers in shape, keeping our young men interested in the sport in St. Lucia?
We've been traveling a lot, Tim. We've been traveling. We've been going out a lot. For the past 2 months, we've been in Martinique. For the past years, we went to several qualifiers. We went to India. We just had one of our female boxers in India. We had one of our boxers in Uzbekistan. We were up in Ecuador. We was down in Nicaragua. We were down in Guyana, the schoolboys. So we keep traveling, but traveling costs a lot of money. So we're hosting now, so people can come and people can see our boxers instead of our boxers going out all the time. So this is the advantage of hosting, so the nation and the people and the family of the boxers could see them in action.
What level of support have you received from the private sector to host this tournament?
The private sector...
Is it seen as something that's
no?
attractive?
The private sector is a kind of sketchy when it comes to sports, especially. You will see a lot of money will be spent in different carnival. They will give millions to carnival, but they won't give nothing to sporting. You only have people like Mr. Eddie Hazel out of West Indies shipping. We have Blue Water in the NLA and the Olympic Committee is really carrying this whole burden of this tournament, Blue Waters is there with some product. Guinness and Heineken is in there with product. But financially, only NLA, Olympic Committee, and I mentioned West Indies Shipping. I'm glad you asked that question, Tim, because people would say the youths in doing this, the youths in doing that. But when it comes to support the youths in something positive, the financial constraining word always comes up in inverted commas. Budget, financial constraint, but you see they will find money to do things to go on the wall, the BB wall. But they don't find money to put the youths in an area to see them do something positive. And when things go out of hand in the country, everybody has to take blame, because if you don't contribute towards something positive, you'll be supporting something negative or be running from something negative. So we want to call on the private sectors. Sports is our way out. Everybody is singing this one song now. Everybody's happy about Julian Alfred.
Yeah.
But I can tell you as a sport administrator, Julian Alfred was eating bricks to get where she at, because I'm the one who take her up to college when she would go to college in Texas. And I chefed her because I'm a member of the Olympic Committee and I know what she went through. But now she's budding. She's right up there. Everybody, yay! But to bill it, they don't want to bill it. So we have to get that kind of culture and get into building our youth, because the youth is our future and we have to invest in the youth. You never know what we have in the ghettos. You never know what the youth can do for us. We keep recycling, we keep investing in things that break and try to fix, and we're not trying with something that we can build. So I'm glad, I want to thank you for asking that question. I didn't really want to go there, but I'm very disappointed in the private sector and the business houses that we spend all our money at, and some of them even don't give you back anything. SNS, all these places, all them Chinese foods we eating, everything, they didn't give you back nothing. So why we spend our money with these business places and they not give him back to the development of the youths, development of the country? Some of them getting tax exemption, getting all kind of things. They're not giving back to the youths. You try to import equipment, sporting equipment, you have to pay how much custom duties on it. You have to. It's sad. It's really
frustrating.
sad. It's
But I know you to be a guy to be resilient. You never give up. You always come up with some kind of concept, some kind of avenue whereby you could really entertain the people and keep them engaged.
Well, what I'm doing is like what you will call, I'm ordained to do what I'm doing. It's like, you have the preachers. This is my job. save life, create champions, better citizen, be administrator, do things, bring joy to people, bring a smile on somebody who's suffering, see somebody eat. It's just making things happen. But some people don't want to make things happen. So, but you got to keep doing what you're doing because you get the strength from the Almighty. People come out of the blues and give you support like you have me on your program. It would cost me endless monies to go another program. I tried to go another program and telling you $500 for interview, $1,000 for interview. To promote sports in your country, that could be real. You could believe some of these media houses want you pay for an interview. Come on, Tim, man. We're not living in the real world. That's why I want to thank you for having me on Power.
You're welcome, sir.
And what I have to do when the money to spend, I have to spend it at Power.
Yeah, appreciate that. Final comments from you, Shakes. Shakes, you never disappointed as an interviewee. You have never disappointed me at all as an interviewee. You always give me some great sound bites.
No, what I was saying, my final word is that I want to be here again.
Yeah.
I want to be here again. I got to break a news on Power 97 today that we'll be doing this year Black Heart Tournament. Shoot goals, not bullets. We're trying to unite all the ghettos, all the crime situation going on. We'll be working with different NGOs, and you'll be seeing us. We want to partner with you. We don't want sponsorship.
No problem.
We want partnership.
Yeah.
So the new slogan for Black Heart 2023 is partnership, because we don't want sponsorship. So you'll be seeing more of me coming in here as a partner, and we're going to make things happen.
Much
Thanks,
appreciated.
Thank you for having me here.
So again, what's happening tomorrow in terms of the boxing?
Tomorrow is punches in bunches, real punches in bunches. We're going to see Nuff Cuff, as they call it in boxing, Nuff Cuff. We're going to see over 60-something boxers showing off from Antigua, Barbados, Martinique, Grenada, Guyana, and St. Lucia, vying for the OECS Boxing Championship. We want to encourage persons to come out, nice clean atmosphere, local food, very affordable. Want you to come out and support us in a big way. It's only $15 admission, $5 for the kids. It's at the VG Boxing Arena, starting at 6:30, Friday and Saturday.
So 6:30 tomorrow evening and also 6:30 on Saturday evening.
That's right.
All right. All the best to you, David Shakes, Christopher, President of the St. Lucia Boxing Association. So to you, go out there and support the boxers, support the sport, and support that the organizers who are trying to revive boxing in St. Lucia after it has been a little bit dormant over the last few years. But remember the great days of St. Lucia dominating OECS boxing with what? I think Guy Love,
Lamontagne, Cleary, and those guys, you know. We still dominate because we have some of the most exciting.
My favorite was Cleary.
Stylish. Very stylish, very
guy,
stylish.
Yeah.
Lamontagne was a powerhouse, and then you had Guy Love was just nippy and, you know, but we have some nice little boxers coming to really fill those gaps.
Okay. Thank you so much. And to you watching the broadcast, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for contributing via your calls, your WhatsApp messages, your discussions in the chat room. Thank you as well to you, the sponsors of the program. Join us tomorrow afternoon, 12:30 for another edition of NewsSpin. Coming up next, The Power Drive. Goodbye.